Today, we are diving into one of your body's best-kept secrets for kicking stress to the curb. It's this incredible, powerful nerve that acts like your own personal, built-in emergency brake. Yep, we're talking about the vagus nerve, and by the end of this, you are going to know exactly how to use it.
You know the feeling, right? That constant low hum of anxiety, maybe a racing heart, that sense that you are just always in go mode, 24/7. It's super common to feel like your body's stress switch is just, well, jammed in the on position. But what if I told you that your body already has a powerful, natural off switch? A system that's literally designed to counteract all that stress and bring you back to a state of calm. And the key to flipping that switch? It's the vagus nerve.
So, how does this whole switch thing actually work? Well, first, we got to understand the body's automatic operating system. It's called the autonomic nervous system. This is the silent manager in the background, controlling all the stuff you don't consciously think about, like your heart rate, your breathing, your digestion. The easiest way to think about this system is that it has two main settings. You've got the sympathetic nervous system, that's your gas pedal. It's that whole fight or flight thing that revs you up for action. And then you've got the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's your brake pedal. That's the rest and digest system that helps you slow down, chill out, and recover.
So, the big question is, how do we slam on that brake pedal when we need to? Well, this is where the star of our show comes in, the absolute main player in your rest and digest system. Let me introduce you to the vagus nerve. The name actually comes from the Latin word vagus, which means wandering. And honestly, it's the perfect description. This thing literally wanders all the way from your brainstem, down through your chest, and into your stomach, connecting to pretty much all of your major organs. It's like a massive information superhighway. Now, here's the part that really flips the script for most people. We tend to think of our brain as the big boss, just barking orders down to the body. But this superhighway, it's a two-way street. And get this, a staggering 80 to 90% of the nerve fibers are sending information from your organs back up to your brain. That's your gut, your heart, your lungs, constantly telling your brain what's going on. This is the mind-body connection in real time.
Okay, so if you decide to Google the vagus nerve after this, you are almost guaranteed to run into something called the polyvagal theory. It's gotten really popular in some wellness and therapy circles, so we need to talk about it. But it's also really important to understand the full scientific picture here. So the theory, which came out back in '94, suggests that our brake pedal, that parasympathetic system, is actually split into two different branches. There's a ventral vagal system that helps us feel safe and socially connected, and then there's a more primitive dorsal vagal system that triggers a shutdown or freeze response when we're under extreme fret.
However, and this is a big however, we have to look at the current science. A major 2023 review in the journal Biological Psychology states that there's a broad consensus among neuroscientists that the theory's main ideas about our anatomy just don't really hold up to scrutiny. So while the theory has definitely been helpful for a lot of therapists, its core hypotheses have been, as the source says, falsified.
Okay, so let's set the debated theories aside and get right to the practical, evidence-based stuff. Because here's the thing. Regardless of the exact wiring diagram, we know that activating the vagus nerve helps flip on that rest and digest system. So let's build you an at-home toolkit to do exactly that.
We're going to walk through 5 super simple, totally free things you can do anytime to give your vagus nerve a little boost. As you can see, we've got breathing, we've got sound, cold, exercise, and touch. Each one is a different way to tap into your body's nervous system and shift it from stress to calm. First up, your breath. This is your most direct and powerful tool, hands down. And the golden rule is simple. Make your exhale longer than your inhale. A long, slow exhale is what sends the everything's okay signal to your vagus nerve. So maybe you breathe in for a count of 4, and then nice and slow, out for a count of 8. That little sigh of relief you feel, that's you, hitting the brakes.
All right, next up is a fun one. Make some noise. See, the vagus nerve passes right through your throat and is connected to your vocal cords. So the vibrations from humming a tune, singing out loud in the car, or even gargling with water can gently stimulate those nerve endings. That Om chants in a yoga class, it works the same way. It sounds a little goofy, but it's a surprisingly effective way to improve what's called your vagal tone.
Tool number 3 is cold exposure, and this triggers this really cool, ancient reflex called the mammalian diving reflex. When cold water hits your face, your body basically thinks it's diving underwater. So, to conserve oxygen, it immediately activates the vagus nerve to slow down your heart rate. And you don't need a full-on ice bath. Just splashing your face with cold water or holding an ice pack on your neck does the trick. It's like an instant reset button.
Next on the list, get moving. We all know exercise is good for us, but research shows that everything from a steady jog to high-intensity interval training helps stimulate the vagus nerve. It's just a perfect example of that mind-body connection. When you work out, you're not just building muscle, you're literally strengthening your body's natural ability to find its own calm.
And finally, number 5, the power of touch. It's not exactly a secret that a massage feels relaxing, right? Well, part of the reason why is vagal nerve stimulation. Gently massaging the sides of your neck, your scalp, or even getting a foot massage can stimulate those vagal sensory neurons, helping to kickstart that rest and digest response and just melt away tension. Now, these at-home techniques are fantastic and super accessible, but the power of the vagus nerve is also being used in clinical settings for some pretty amazing treatments. This just goes to show you, this isn't just some wellness trend, this is serious, hard science.
For years, doctors have been using something called vagus nerve stimulation, or VNS therapy. It involves surgically implanting a little device, kind of like a pacemaker, that sends gentle electrical pulses to the vagus nerve. And it's an approved, effective treatment for certain kinds of epilepsy and for depression that just hasn't responded to anything else.
And the future might not even require surgery. I mean, just look at this chart from a 2018 study. Researchers tested a non-invasive device, one that stimulates the vagus nerve right through the skin on your ear. The group that used the device saw a major drop in their depression symptoms compared to the group just getting standard care. This stuff is seriously exciting and gives us a peek into the future of medicine.
So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. From something as simple as a long exhale all the way to advanced medical technology, the vagus nerve is your body's direct line to calm. The goal isn't to never feel stress again. That's impossible. The goal is to know with total confidence that you hold the reset button. So the only question left is, are you ready to use it?